All right, people, buckle up. We're about to go on a wild ride through Kenya's past, present, and future. And trust me, this isn't your boring history lesson. We're talking about power struggles, political drama, and the law of the land. This journey is all thanks to a book called Power, Politics and the Law by a prominent Kenyan lawyer, Githu Muigai. It's a deep dive into how Kenya got its constitution, from the days of colonial rule to the present. This book is a page-turner. It's full of juicy details about the fight for independence, the drafting of the constitution, and the never-ending tug-of-war between different political groups. So grab your safari hats, because we're about to explore the fascinating world of Kenyan constitutionalism. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's meet the man behind the masterpiece, Professor Githu Muigai. This isn't just some random guy with an opinion. Muigai is a legal eagle. We're talking Harvard-educated, former Attorney General of Kenya, and a leading expert on constitutional law. He's been in the thick of it, folks. In Power, Politics and the Law, Muigai doesn't just tell the story of Kenya's constitution. He gives you a front-row seat to the action. He breaks down complex legal jargon into something we can all understand. No law degree required. Muigai's insights are invaluable. He knows where the bodies are buried, literally and figuratively. Now, let's get down to business. Today, we delve into the intricate and often tumultuous world of Kenyan politics. Kenya's history is a wild ride of power struggles and political maneuvering. From the early days of independence to the modern era, the political landscape has been shaped by a series of intense and often dramatic events. And the Constitution, it's been at the center of it all. This document is not just a set of rules, it's the very foundation upon which the nation stands. From the colonial era, when the British imposed their laws on the Kenyan people, to the fight for independence, the Constitution has been a powerful tool. It has been both a weapon and a shield, used by various groups to either oppress or liberate. It's the blueprint for how the country is run, who gets to call the shots, and how power is shared or not shared. The Constitution outlines the roles and responsibilities of different branches of government, ensuring a balance of power. Muigai takes us through the twists and turns of Kenya's past. His insights provide a deeper understanding of the complex interplay between law and politics in shaping the nation's destiny. He shows how different groups, from freedom fighters to colonial rulers, have tried to shape the Constitution to fit their agendas. Each era brought its own set of challenges and opportunities, influencing the evolution of the Constitution. It's a story of ambition, betrayal, and the never-ending quest for power. Political alliances are formed and broken, leaders rise and fall, and the quest for control continues unabated. It's a reminder that constitutions aren't just dusty old documents. They are living, breathing entities that evolve with the times, reflecting the changing aspirations and struggles of the people. They're living, breathing things that reflect the hopes, dreams, and struggles of a nation. The Constitution is a mirror of society, capturing its triumphs and tribulations and guiding its future. Let's be real, folks. Power often ends up in the hands of the few, and Kenya is no exception. Muigai doesn't shy away from showing how elites have shaped the constitutional landscape. We're talking about political dynasties, wealthy businessmen, and influential families. These elites have always had a big say in how the country is run, and they've used their influence to protect their interests, often at the expense of ordinary Kenyans. The book exposes how backroom deals, shady agreements, and outright manipulation have influenced the Constitution. It's a sobering reminder that the fight for a just and equitable society is an ongoing battle. Section 5: Historical Nuggets You Won't Find in Textbooks. One of the best things about Power, Politics and the Law is that it's full of juicy historical tidbits. These are the kinds of stories that bring history to life, making it more than just dates and events. You won't find these in your average textbook. Textbooks often focus on the big picture, but it's the little-known details that make history truly fascinating. Muigai spills the tea on the secret meetings, the behind-the-scenes negotiations, and the colorful characters who shaped Kenya's constitutional history. These are the moments that textbooks often gloss over, but they are crucial to understanding the full story. He gives us the inside scoop on the drama, the intrigue, and the power plays that have defined Kenyan politics. It's like getting a backstage pass to history, where you see the real action happening. Did you know, for example, that the first draft of Kenya's constitution was actually written in a secret location? This adds a layer of mystery and excitement to the story of Kenya's independence. Or that some of the key players in the independence movement had very different visions for the country's future. These differing visions led to intense debates and discussions, shaping the path Kenya would eventually take. These stories add color and depth to our understanding of Kenya's past. They show us that history is not just a series of events, but a complex web of human experiences and decisions. They remind us that history is made by real people with their own motivations, flaws, and ambitions. These personal stories make history relatable and remind us that the past was once someone's present. By delving into these lesser-known stories, we gain a richer, more nuanced understanding of our history. It's a reminder that every historical event is shaped by the people who lived it, and their stories deserve to be told. Section 6. Where are the African voices? While Muigai does a fantastic job of highlighting the political and legal battles, there's one thing missing: the voices of ordinary Kenyans. We hear a lot from the politicians, the lawyers, and the elites. But what about the everyday people whose lives were directly affected by these constitutional changes? Where are the stories of the farmers who lost their land, the women who fought for equal rights, or the students who protested for a better future? Don't get me wrong, Muigai's legal expertise is invaluable, but to truly understand Kenya's constitutional journey, we need to hear from those who lived through it, whose lives were shaped by the decisions made in the halls of power. Section 7, the Post-Colonial Era, a time of change. After gaining independence in 1963, Kenya embarked on a new chapter. The challenge to shed the shackles of colonialism and build a new nation based on freedom, justice, and equality. Easier said than done, right? Muigai guides us through the post-colonial era, a period marked by both progress and setbacks. We see how Kenya grappled with the legacy of colonialism, the rise of one-party rule, and the struggle for multi-party democracy. The constitution became a battleground for these competing visions. Every amendment, every clause, every word was fiercely contested. It's a testament to the enduring power of the Constitution as a tool for both oppression and liberation. Section 8. The role of experts in shaping Kenya's constitution. Now, you might be thinking, this constitutional stuff sounds complicated, and you wouldn't be wrong. The process of creating and refining a constitution is indeed a complex and intricate task. Is it just a bunch of lawyers arguing in a room? Well, yes and no. While there are certainly debates and discussions, there's much more to it than that. Githu Muigai, a prominent legal scholar, sheds light on the crucial role that legal experts have played in shaping Kenya's constitutional landscape. He emphasizes that their work goes beyond mere arguments. We're talking about the drafters, the advisors, the academics, and the consultants who bring their expertise to the table. And let's not forget the judges who have interpreted and applied the law of the land. Their role is pivotal in ensuring that the Constitution is not just a document, but a living, breathing framework for governance. These experts have wielded enormous influence, often behind the scenes. Their contributions are not always visible to the public eye, but they are essential. They've helped to shape the language of the Constitution, clarify its provisions, and ensure that it is both comprehensive and accessible. They also play a critical role in resolving disputes over its interpretation, ensuring that the Constitution remains relevant and effective. Their contributions highlight the technical complexity of constitutionalism. It's a field that requires not just legal knowledge, but also a deep understanding of societal needs and values. It's not just about lofty ideals. It's about translating those ideals into concrete legal frameworks that can be implemented and upheld. These frameworks must be robust enough to withstand challenges and flexible enough to adapt to changing circumstances. The role of experts is, therefore, indispensable in this ongoing process. Section 9. What's next for Kenya's constitution? So, where does Kenya go from here? Muigai argues that the struggle for a more just and equitable society is far from over. The Constitution, he reminds us, is not a static document. It's a living instrument that must adapt to changing times and evolving needs. He predicts that Kenya will continue to grapple with issues of land reform, electoral justice, and the balance of power between different branches of government. The big question is, will Kenya's constitution be used to further the interests of the few, or will it become a tool for genuine democratic transformation? Only time will tell. Section 10. Why you should read Power, Politics and the Law. Look, I get it. Reading about constitutional law might not be everyone's cup of tea. But trust me on this one. Power, Politics and the Law is not your average dry academic tome. Muigai's writing is engaging, insightful, and dare I say it, entertaining. He brings Kenya's constitutional journey to life with vivid storytelling and sharp analysis. Whether you're a legal scholar, a history buff, or just someone who wants to understand the forces shaping Kenya today, this book is a must-read. Section 11. Let's keep the conversation going. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our whirlwind tour of Kenya's constitutional journey. But I don't want the conversation to end here. What did you think of the book's insights? Do you agree with Muigai's assessment of Kenya's past, present, and future? Hit me up on Twitter and let me know your thoughts. Let's keep the conversation going.